Hello class, my name is Kyle Leong, and today I'm going to show you the best way to make fried rice at home. Fried rice is a dish that you can have at any time of the day, whether that's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or maybe even snacks in between. In terms of the cooking process of the fried rice, if you have a really big fire and a really big wok, it can be done in a couple of minutes. Let's get started. For this fried rice dish, the ingredients will include white rice, 3 eggs. For a meat ingredient, we'll use 1/3 of a can of Spam, the stems of these vegetables that we'll cut off here, some green spring onions, and for a special ingredient, we'll be using shredded scallops, which originated from this large scallop right here. It was shredded into small pieces, and it gives the fried rice dish some umami flavor. This means that you won't have to use much seasoning or salt in the fried rice.
For a dish that takes only minutes to come together, it's really important to get everything organized. Everything needs to be at your fingertips. I'm just gonna go ahead and dice up the green onions. They provide a mild, fresh onion taste that complements the other ingredients in the fried rice. They can also be used as a garnish. Cutting the meat, in this case Spam, in really thin pieces allow it to cook better on the inside and distributes its flavor throughout the dish. I really love this Spam because it's easily accessible and it adds a really nice salty flavor. But you are basically allowed to use any type of meat that you have. We're just gonna go ahead and beat the 3 large eggs with a fork until both the whites and the yolks are fully incorporated.
Now that these ingredients are ready, we can finally begin to start cooking. The first thing you have to do is heat up the wok.
This step is all about temperature control and making sure that your pan is super hot throughout the entire process.
Now that the wok is heated up, I'm going to put the oil in, and then soon I'll put the rice and the eggs in. You can see the steam right now. In goes the egg. You want the eggs right before they're like hard, so like a little bit runny before you put the rice in. Like about now.
The good news is that this amount of rice can serve up to 3 people easily. Your goal here should be to incorporate the eggs into every grain of rice. One of the most important things about making a good fried rice is to make sure that all the rice is separated and fried evenly. We can do this by mixing the rice into pieces, like we're doing now, so that they aren't in clumps anymore. We can go ahead and hear now that the rice is starting to pop. And so this is a good indication that now the water is evaporating from the rice and it's starting to crisp the surface. You want to be very careful here not to over fry this. Patting down the rice while cooking helps to create more direct contact between the rice and the surface of the wok, which encourages better browning and crisping. This technique allows for the Maillard reaction, which enhances the flavor by creating a slightly crispy caramelized layer.
Now it's time to put the Spam in. And also if I put the veggies in.
After putting the rest of the ingredients in, the remainder of the cooking process is basically just mixing everything up. There is an advanced mixing technique called wok tossing, where you toss the food into the air and catch it as it falls back into the wok. This technique that is typically used in stir frying helps to evenly cook food over high heat and also helps to mix flavors and allow excess moisture to evaporate. Unfortunately, as you can see, I haven't yet learned this technique.
Now it's time to put in the dried scallop.
Like I mentioned before, the dried scallops provide an umami taste, which is a flavor enhancer. It can make the food taste richer, saltier, and more satisfying. Even though it is a savory flavor, it can also bring out the sweetness in foods.
For the final step, you have to add in the spring onions. But before you do that, you have to turn off the heat. And then you can just mix it up. This is so it doesn't overcook the onions.
The scallions are really thin here, so it doesn't take much to cook through them. I'm just using residual heat here, just to incorporate the scallions and add this beautiful green. And just like that, we have just finished making our fried rice.
It's time to give it a taste test. Mmm, it's fresh. Pretty hot. This tastes so good.
I can't believe something this easy can taste so good. It's packed with proteins, with eggs and spam, and it's also loaded with the crunchy vegetables and scallions and umami flavor provided by the dried scallops. I love this dish.
We all know that fried rice is a dish that originated from China, but why is this dish so culturally important? Fried rice has deep roots in Chinese culture as it serves the principles of frugality and resourcefulness. It was traditionally a convenient way to use leftover rice and vegetables, transforming them into a flavorful dish that can serve a large amount of people. It is also significant in Chinese cuisine as it symbolizes harmony and balance, blending different flavors and textures. In fact, this is a dish that my grandma often makes for me as her hobby, proving that the Chinese tradition of fried rice has been adapted through generations until now. Fried rice to me is very nostalgic. This is a dish that I grew up eating a lot of, and so that any time that there's any rice left over, or you just have a lot of ingredients, or a lot of vegetables that you want to throw into one dish, this is a great way to utilize both.
Just by learning a few techniques and understanding a few concepts here, you can go ahead and expand your fried rice adventure.